This is Grunt Squad. Join Sam Mann and Blake Farver in an adrenaline-packed sports podcast where they dive into the world of sports betting, dissect fantasy strategies, and break down the latest current events in the sports realm.
This is it.
We're in there.
Welcome in to the Grunt Squad.
Grunt Squad.
I don't know if that's how that I like it though.
Every week. Can't be the same every
different.
week.
Well, consistency is a good thing. Hey, Facebook Live people, we are on and live. If you're seeing this, this is in real time.
It is in real time. This is the live. You get to hear the show first before it's even produced.
Story checks out.
That's awesome.
It's a weird kind of thing, but it's fun.
Cool.
It's fun. Happy holidays, everybody. It's
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It is. It's a beautiful day.
Happy New Year's.
Well,
all the things.
We have so many things to dive into
Let's
today.
Get it.
Playoff implications, fantasy stuff. Those of you that are into fantasy football, we all had our playoffs. Those that made it and those that didn't make it.
Oh yeah,
I'm on both sides of that coin.
Haha.
Yay!
I'm only on one side of it.
Yeah, you're the best.
I know.
I don't know what else to say.
Me neither.
Anyway, Ivan, what up?
Ivan, my dog, Ivan.
Good to see you. Well, listen, let's talk about the Chiefs' playoff implications potentially. Is this red alert time? Is this what are we thinking?
Oh boy. Well, I have a lot to say about the Kansas City Chiefs situation in general. I'll talk about the playoff situation first, and then I have a little rant to go on.
The rant. We got a rant coming.
We do have a rant. So I think it's time. I think it's time to start. Looking into the panic button here a little bit. Not to blow everything up, because here's the deal. Do I think that the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty is coming to a crashing halt? No. I mean, Brady and the Patriots went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl in between, all their run in their dynasty, but they were still consistently good, 11, 12 win team every year.
But they had guys that could get the job done. I think that's kind of the issue at this point, not to break up what you're saying. But
well, the Chiefs do too. I think that they need to get Pat Mahomes some help.
Agreed.
Bottom line, they have the defense. They need to get him help. And yes, we've talked about it every week, so we don't need to harp on that point. But Kadarius Toney is becoming a detriment to this team. A detriment. Not only, I'm going to get into that whole situation, that the whole offsides thing. I definitely want to dive into that. But aside from that, he cannot catch the football, and that's
why the Giants.
Last time I checked, that's a problem in this league, especially this specific league. If you can't catch the ball, you're not going to be successful. I mean, does that story check out, Sam?
Yeah, it definitely checks out.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to check the book or anything on that one.
The box has already been checked on that one.
All right, good. I just wanted to make sure we were all clear on that. But they need to get rid of him. Not only if you're not going to get rid of him right this second, they need to at least stop playing him or reduce his role majorly. You're making crucial drops on crucial plays that might not be like game on the line and he drops the ball, but there's crucial moments in the game where he dropped passes that instead of getting yourself in a third and 3 situation, you have yourself now in a 3rd and 10 situation because you just can't simply catch the football, even if you got tackled immediately. So he's a detriment to the team. They gotta figure something out differently.
I think another major issue too, which recently just happened, is Pacheco going down. I think you look at Kelsey. Who was the next best reliable thing? It was Pacheco.
Yeah.
he was the guy that could also catch in the backfield, and CEH.
It's crazy.
And McKinnon can catch passes, but they're not the same.
Well,
Pacheco was definitely the guy.
Well, CEH, he had so much like promise and upside in that first year, and then all of a sudden he just kind of fell off. And then Pacheco started getting more looks and started getting more touches, and the next thing you know, he's the pretty much every down back for the most part. He's the first and second down back for sure.
He earned the role though, and he's the guy with the juice.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird that CEH just kind of like just took a back seat. And it wasn't like any big thing. Like he didn't get a major injury to make that happen. Like he didn't like have terrible games and stuff. I guess the Chiefs really bought into the future of Pacheco.
Well, they talked about too some off the field stuff with him, like as far from a work ethic perspective.
Okay.
So when you're not willing to put your all, especially in a team like the Chiefs, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Here's the thing. Like you said, I don't think that it's red alert yet, but we're on the cusp because we're running out of time, and their schedule is not
this year running out of time this year. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I just want to make sure because I also alluded to the fact that it's not long term done for them, but
right.
Yeah, but their schedule. What were you saying about?
Well, they're at New England, they play Las Vegas, Cincinnati, and the Chargers. And that's
2-2.
That's our Chargers. That's what I see.
2-2.
That's what I see.
I think you beat the Chargers, and the Raiders is an interesting one because the Raiders are they're so unpredictable as a team. Their defense has actually looked really good lately, but they can't really move the ball. O'Connell's doing a better job. So that's kind of like an iffy one for me. I think they beat the Chargers. The Chargers are, they're in trouble.
Well, especially now with Herbert going down.
That's a franchise that needs to break it up and start over because it's their stars are starting to get aged, and it's time to reassess. I don't think you get rid of Herbert. I don't think you do that. Although I've heard that might be on the table for them going forward because
that'd be wild.
It would be. It would be interesting to see where he would land.
Because I think he's capable of being a top tier guy.
He is, and he's shown that. But anyway, I think the Chiefs beat the Chargers. I think that they lose to, what was it again?
So you've got New England, the Raiders, the Bengals, the Chargers.
I think they lose to the.
I don't think at New England's a gimme, by the way.
I do.
It should be.
I think they respond against New England,
and they should.
And I think that's one that you can chalk up as a win. I think I think they lose to the Bengals.
Yeah, Brownings look great.
I think they lose to the Bengals, and I think that they might have a hard time with the Raiders, believe it or not.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. But
should be interesting.
Sure.
This game against the Bills are on the uptick, and I know that we talked about last week about how initially you were saying the Bills were going to make the playoffs. They're starting to come around.
Their defense is starting to really play well, and they're starting to gel. It took them a long time to get there. They're starting to get healthier on the defensive side of the ball. I like their chances going forward. Do you have their schedule sitting there? The Bills? Because we got 4 games left, right?
We do. They're playing Dallas at Chargers, home at New England, and at Miami.
Chargers.
So Dallas, Chargers, New England, Miami.
Oh, okay. 2-2 maybe.
Yeah, I think
I don't think it's a foregone conclusion though that they're going to lose to the Dolphins.
No,
after what we saw last night.
I agree,
which was crazy.
I agree. Well, and I just to I know that we're going into other stuff.
It's okay.
This is gonna toot your own horn right here on this one because Tyreek is such a difference maker.
Oh my gosh.
I look at him the same way that I look at Debo.
Yeah.
And you look at those two offenses and how they operate without Debo Samuel, the 49ers, without Tyreek Hill with the Dolphins,
right.
And they are just They're completely different.
Yeah.
That the offense runs through both of those guys, and I think Miami's way more dependent on Tyreek than
100%, especially after what we saw last night. They did absolutely nothing without him on the field. And then all of a sudden, and it doesn't necessarily have to be him with the ball in his hands, but he just attracts so much attention that he will pull people out of the box, and then next thing you know, Mostert 2 touchdowns when he comes back in the game. Like, they were doing absolutely nothing in the beginning. They drove all the way down when he was in the game, and Tua fumbled, and then he went out for that extended period of time, scored nothing, did not move the ball. And then when he came back, that's when they started scoring points again.
For sure. Hey, guys, joining, let's see, Kenneth, Rachel, Sam. I'm not going to even try to say that. Is that your – oh, yeah, Jose. Jose and Billy. What's up, guys?
What's
Happy
going
you guys
on,
are
guys?
joining us.
Yes.
Hop in the conversation, too. If you guys want to talk about something, let's debate. Let's get into it. Let's talk football. That's why we're here.
Yeah, tell us what you're thinking about the things we're saying. I want to be able to have us comment on what you guys are talking about live too.
So back to the whole 49ers thing, that they had that skid earlier in the season.
Right.
And now you're seeing the Chiefs, who usually when they've gone down, they find a way to get back up and to move forward and to get better. That hasn't happened. Now the Eagles, buddy.
Yeah,
we've got some issues in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with Jalen Hurts and him just not being healthy. He's a shell of himself this year. He's just not. He's not the same guy. He's throwing the ball actually pretty well, but I don't know. I don't know if these last 2 weeks for them is so much of a them issue as it is the two teams that they're playing are playing the best football in the league right now.
Dallas is playing lights out. There's no question.
I honestly, it's a tough argument of who's playing better right now, the Niners or the Cowboys. It's close, right?
I think overall, I'd give the slight nod to Dallas, and that's kind of crazy.
It is crazy, but I mean,
Dak has looked elite. He's looked absolutely elite.
There's no scenario where someone could just that you're egregiously wrong in that, on that take. Like it's a very fair argument to say that they are.
But we know what they do. And so that's why there's hesitation.
Yes.
Because if they didn't have the history of what they continually do every single year in the playoffs, is,
100%.
here they come, one of the best teams in the NFL, and then they just they crap their pants and they're out in the first round. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward.
Good luck going forward betting on that.
Yeah.
On what they're going to do in the playoffs.
Honestly.
Good luck, because it's a tough choice. Like, you want to ride the wave with them and be like, man, they are playing elite football right now, but you know what they have done in the past, so it's a hard bet. It's a hard bet.
Andrew, what up, buddy? Thanks for hopping in. To go back to the QB situation that you alluded to last week with the Vikings. Hey, they brought your boy Jaron Hall. Oh, they didn't.
They didn't bring him back, but
what's going on, dude? Why not? Why didn't they bring Hall back?
I don't know. I don't get what they're doing. What the thought process is there. You start him. He's the first quarterback that you start when Cousins gets hurt. He performs well, and then he something out of his control. He gets a concussion. You ride this Dobbs wave, which went on a little too long, in my opinion, and that showed the last 2 or 3 games that he's had. You said to me last night too. You actually went back and looked at his stats.
Well, I wanted to relook because, I took a deeper dive and realized that's.
It was kind of eye opening. Wow, this is.
Yeah, he's not been very good.
No,
I mean, that's just the bottom line. And so, but again, I think their sentiment was, and what I was saying originally is, I think how they felt based on their actions. So they felt that this was the guy that could give them their best shot at winning the game. Now that being said, they realized, okay. maybe we were wrong. Maybe this isn't the guy.
Yeah, but now they go to Mullins instead. Like,
it's crazy.
I don't know what they're going to do going forward, because they don't even know what they're going to do going forward.
Well,
and they're still in the playoff hunt.
Right, and the whole JJ coming back, going back, getting off as quickly as he came back on,
Yeah.
which is so disheartening. Those of you that that had Justin Jefferson in leagues,
Big letdown year for whoever took Justin Jefferson number 1 overall. I mean,
awaiting him to come back, you get so pumped, and then he goes right back out there. So hopefully he can get the rest that he needs. And I think it was some rib injury or something like that. Was it chest or something?
I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Chest, right?
All I know is that they commented on it after the game saying we got him out at the right time, and it was more precautionary than it was anything else. And hey, they won the game. Lowest scoring game in
3-0 since
2007.
Yeah, that's wild.
And it was 3-0 in that
Wild.
game too. I mean, I can only think of a handful of games ever that was less than 3-0, and it would be 2-0, and that was like way back in the day. But I think they got to. I don't think it really matters what the Vikings are going to do at this point. I mean, they're not contenders to make a run. The NFC is too tough.
They have a pretty soft schedule moving forward, though. Their last 4 weeks at Cincinnati. Okay, they're probably going to lose that one. But Detroit at home, Green Bay at home, and Detroit away. Detroit has not
soft schedule.
I'm just saying we've seen Detroit's defense is crumbling.
Sure, but that's not an easy game. I mean, you can't throw that. I mean, they're playing all teams with winning records.
I mean, Green Bay 6-7. So.
Okay, well, that one team that stubbed their toe this week, you liked that one.
Yeah. If you stub one, I still got 9 more,
I guess. Well, look, it happens a lot.
Ryan, Shelby, Brandon, Angie, thank you guys for hopping on and joining us.
What was I saying?
We were talking about stubbing toes.
Okay.
Green Bay.
This happens often in this league, is that you get hot, and then there's a week that you're just not expecting. This week it happened to be against the Giants, and you don't perform as well. Jordan Love did not look good last night. I think they're going to bounce back, though. I'm not really worried. I think they still. I mean, they're right. They lost by what, 2? So it was a close game. The Giants played better probably than. And this whole DeVito thing.
Tommy DeVito, dude.
Come on, do it with me. Yeah.
It's Italiano. It's for you.
Have you seen his agent? Have you seen a picture of his agent?
No.
The way his agent was dressed.
Oh, was he like in all like a tux
all
or
black leather, Italian mobster looking, it was cool. He had the hat.
He still lives with his parents, and he gets chicken cutlets every night. That's what I heard through the grapevine.
That's great.
Cutlets.
Hey,
folks. Cutlets.
Here's the next question.
I'm listening.
Are you intimidated as the Giants front office to say now, well, when Daniel Jones gets healthy, he's going to take back over the starting role?
I think Tommy's given them a spark, man. I think that the energy, the command that he has in the offense, he went 17 for 21. 158 with the touchdown, and 71 yards on the ground rushing. I mean, he gives them some dynamic. I know Daniel.
Forget how he played.
Okay,
forget how he played.
Fine, I'll forget about it.
Are they going to be intimidated by his family? They're going to roll up on him like a bunch of mobsters. Oh, you're going to take my son out of the game? Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I'd be afraid. I don't know.
I'm scared of you right now.
That's right. You should be.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get out of here.
I'm just getting.
How you doing?
Getting amped up for my rant.
For your rant. Speaking of rant, just bring it.
You ready?
Come on.
Okay. Here's the deal.
So let's preface. What are we ranting about? Talk to me.
Patrick Mahomes, in the whole situation.
Let's get the chat going. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. So for those of you that are watching online, and then for those of you that are viewing this later on, and you can make chat, you can comment in the chats in our social media pages, which we're on all socials, YouTube, Instagram.
The Grunt Squad on Instagram.
The Grunt Squad.
The Grunt Squad on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All up to date. Follow us.
Yes, follow us, comment, like, subscribe, all the things.
Rant away.
All right, so for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, I'll quickly explain. And for those of you that do, you're probably starting to get upset now. So the Bills played the Chiefs, and less than 2 minutes to go, the Chiefs have the ball about midfield. Snap the ball, throw a ball down the field to Travis Kelce. He breaks a couple tackles, runs upfield, turns laterals, legal lateral, very legal. Like it was like 5 yards backwards.
It was, yeah.
Across the field backwards.
Yeah.
Perfect spiral from Travis Kelce to
right. Yeah.
Kadarius Toney. He catches, he takes off, he scores a touchdown. Okay, there's a flag.
Can't believe he caught it.
Flag on the play. Yeah, right? Dude, if he would have dropped that, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Well,
he caught it. He caught it.
Even if he didn't score, he caught it. Anyways, so there's a flag on the play. Offsides on the offense, okay? Because Kadarius Toney, Mr. Detriment himself, lines up slightly offsides. And, folks, he definitely lined up offsides. It's very clear as day. And first of all, in the NFL, you cannot in any way, shape, or form do that. Like, not just because it's against the rules. Like, you're getting paid millions of dollars. That's something that
you learn in Pee Wee football.
JV football players normally don't do.
Come on.
I mean, I've maybe a handful of times in my life, meaning less than 5, I have seen an offensive offsides penalty. It just doesn't happen. And 3 out of the 4 times that I have seen it, it's been on a quarterback sneak tush push type situation where the offense just is lined up slightly offsides because they're trying to, pinch the middle. Okay? That's not even what I'm all upset about. Here's my issue.
Here we go. Come on.
I'm very, very disappointed in Patrick Mahomes for the way that he handled everything after that fact. I'm actually disappointed in Patrick Mahomes' attitude even before that play happens. So, 2-minute warning in the first half. It might seem like a little thing, but the camera guy's over on Patrick Mahomes talking to Andy Reid, and they're figuring out what play to run. They're down 14-0. Patrick Mahomes is giving the stank face and shooing away the cameraman. Never seen him do that before, but all of a sudden it's a problem for him. Later in the game, this happens. The whole situation happens with the penalty. He's slamming like I've never like he went off. He is throwing his helmet as hard as he possibly can at the ground, cussing out the refs. His teammates are having to hold him back. Just not a good look for him. Then at the end of the game, where all the players are shaking hands, he goes up and shakes Josh Allen's hand. Doesn't say congratulations or anything like that. All he does in that moment is tell him how much of a bad call, a BS call it was, and that should never be called at that point in the game. Press conference, again, still going on about it. Same with Andy Reid. Completely handled it the wrong way.
I think that was just him defending his quarterback in that particular situation. I don't know if those were actual Andy's feelings on it.
He was pretty, animated himself in the fact
But as a head coach and for that dynamic, I think he was just backing up his guy.
I mean, he was talking about how they shouldn't call it in the moment and all that stuff. So let's address that real quick, okay? And I told you I was ready to go on this rant because I felt a bunch of type of ways about this. For all intents and purposes,
Eddie, Joe, Brian, Wally, welcome. Good to see you guys.
For all intents and purposes, let's grant Patrick Mahomes the excuse of or his take of in that moment, in such a big moment, man. I wish, because this is what he said. He quoted. He said, "I wish they would just let us play, and whatever happens, happens." Can we hit the rewind button for a second and talk about the Super Bowl this last year that you just won, the end of the game, when they call a little tiny tug on the jersey of a holding call to a ball that was way overthrown that really did not affect the play.
And changed the entire thing.
Changed the whole thing.
Yep.
And it won you a Super Bowl. Okay? So don't play two sides of the coin here. You can't say it. You can't say it and not say it in one instance, but then when it's against you, now you want to say it. Okay, that's not cool to me. Like I'm not about that. And yeah, I'm hot about it, man. Like it ticked me off because I love Patrick Mahomes. Like after watching the QB documentary on Netflix and all that stuff, man, I was like, wow, this dude is a legit guy. He's a stand-up guy, and I still think that he is. Don't get me wrong. He handled this situation way wrong. Way wrong.
Agreed.
Now, one more thing. I did see today, so I will give him some credit because I did see today that he came out and apologized, especially about the way that he addressed Josh Allen, because that was the thing that I was more upset than anything else about, is that he needed to be a good sport in that moment, regardless of the outcome of the game, and go and shake his hand, say, congrats, man, good game, and let that be the end of it.
See you later this season.
They're friends. They are friends off the field.
Right.
He can text him after the game and say, man, I can't believe, whatever you want to say, have that private conversation. But in that moment, you shouldn't have done that. He owned up to that today, and I give props to him and credit to him for doing that. So good on you for doing that, Pat. But you should have never reacted the way that you did in the first place. Heat of the moment, sure, I get it. But last thing alluding to this is that, and now we can talk about this, this is definitely a sign of his frustration boiling over. And Pat he's now fed up with the direction that they're going. I don't think he's necessarily, well, he's not outwardly frustrated with his teammates per se, but I think that he's holding all of that in because he's been trying to save face for such a long time now that it's starting to boil over, and he's having a hard time holding in his emotions.
You got to blow off the steam, and I think it's all come to a head at this point, and I think this is indicative of exactly what you said. Spot on. Great rant, by the way. Bravo, yes, bravo, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, loved it. The bottom line is that if you're Kansas City wide receiver, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and have a come to Jesus moment and be like, listen, I know that we haven't been doing it up to this point, but we need to start catching this ball.
Yeah.
We need to find a way.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to do it. By the way, Daryl, happy birthday. Mike, Matt, Rick, appreciate you guys hopping on. But that's the deal. And if they don't right this ship, it's going to go down. I mean, that's just the bottom line. That's where it's going.
For sure.
So how do we feel about, I heard this comparison over the weekend, and I know we're kind of switching gears here, but I heard this on Sunday, and I wanted to leave the room. Like,
oh yeah, here we go.
I wanted, so this might fire up some of the peeps that are listening and watching right now. I was told via friend of friends, which shall remain nameless. I'm not going to put it out like this, but that Mac Jones, quarterback for the New England Patriots, would do as good of, if not a better job than Brock Purdy in San Francisco. When I heard this, I wanted to walk out of the room. That just blew my mind. What do you think about that? Is that crazy? I think it's insane.
Just don't have words. Like, how?
Insane.
How? Like, Brock Purdy is an MVP candidate. You're telling me right now, you're telling me that Mac Jones would be an MVP candidate if he was in that San Francisco 49ers offense?
That's what these guys were saying.
There's no way. There's no way. His decision-making is so bad. It's so bad. There's a reason that he's not starting anymore. I mean,
it's been back and forth. I think the bottom line is that, and you used to play quarterback. You know that when you go through reads and you go through progressions, and you know when you messed up. Yeah. You know when you made a bad decision, and when you saw something that was wrong. Like, I'm telling you, there have been more plays.
You've seen
that wavelength. Correct.
You've seen him like get frustrated at himself for making those bad choices. So like, what? I don't.
They look at his rookie season, and this was something that was brought in 2021, his rookie year. Okay, the best year that he's had. Okay, 92.5 passer rating, 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Went to the Pro Bowl. Okay, that's a solid rookie year. Super solid. Very good. 2022, 84 passer rating, 2,900 yards, 14 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. This year, 77, 2,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. We appreciate you guys hopping on and being a part, though. We thank Wicked Pecker Off-Road for sponsoring today's podcast, for all your off-road needs. And until next time, which will be next week. Usually we air on Tuesday, but I think next week we're going to try to shoot for Monday for vacation plans. Pretty please.
Yeah. We'll have to figure that out.
We're going to have to figure it out.
the crew, but
we'll have to talk it out. But anyway, we'll let you guys know on the socials, though, when exactly we're going to be airing. We just kind of threw this up tonight. But here we are. And we thank you so much for being a part of this. Our first live stream.
Yes.
And
you got to hear it before anybody else. So
it's true.
Yeah.
You got to hear the rants.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Happy holidays. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.